Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to 2020. Happy New Year. Back with a live video. We want to talk about negotiating. There's a lot of stuff going on in the local real estate market, a lot of deals. It's a hot market, and one thing that can really give you the advantage is having a good understanding of negotiation. Negotiation can apply to all areas of your life, but I want to share some quick tips on negotiating for real estate deals, and I got to give credit where credit's due. I love this book right here. It's called Never Split the Difference, Negotiating as though your life depended on it. It's by a guy named Chris Voss. He's a hostage negotiator in the FBI. He literally negotiated people's lives from terrorists, so he knows a thing or two about negotiating. I just got his master class, and I watched his master class on negotiating. It was phenomenal. I've listened to the audiobook probably 3 times, and then I had to get the hardback too, just for a reference. I also listened to the summary, so I love the principles in this book, and I just want to share a few things about negotiating with you guys, just some quick tips. First thing is, you got to understand negotiations at their core are emotional. They're emotional, they're subjective. Fair, that's a fair deal. The word fair doesn't mean anything in negotiating. Is 300,000 fair? That's a fair deal. 350 is fair. I think 400 is fair, right? Fair doesn't mean anything. It's purely an emotional, subjective thing, right? And so because negotiations are at their core emotional, when people think they got a good deal or that was a fair deal, they're describing how they feel in their emotions about the deal, and you got to understand that. And so one thing to understand going in, because it's an emotional thing, always treat people with respect and honor, okay? You always want to go in treating people with respect and honor because you know that you're going to negotiate and you want to have a good emotional response right off the get-go. So when having agents, when you're negotiating, hey, I've heard a lot about you, got a great reputation, I'm excited about this deal, I really want to make a good thing, but I got a lot of respect for you, and you know, so you're going in with respect, with honor, and usually a lot of times that the receptivity to your negotiations are going to be much better received when you understand they're emotional and you play to that. So that's really important. Number 2, listen for black swans. So black swans, what black swans are is back in England, they used to say black swan was it's like saying is a unicorn. It's something that doesn't exist because swans are white, right? But then someone from England went over to Australia, and guess what he saw there? He saw a black swan. Okay, so he actually saw a black swan. And so what a black swan means is something that you don't know exists, but it really does exist. There's black swans in every negotiation, and it's your job to understand and to find out what those things are. There's hidden motivations. There's just different things that you can find out in negotiations that will really help your position. So you really want to listen. You want to gather as much information. And negotiation is not about speaking as much as it is about listening and understanding. And so a good way to do this is, as someone's talking to you in negotiation and you're talking to them, just repeat back the last sentence that they say as a question mark to get more information. And so it's kind of interesting. It's a little technical little thing. So if someone says, oh yeah, I retired here. I retired from the Air Force. You say, oh, you retired from the Air Force. And you just be quiet. Oh yeah, I retired from the Air Force because I was doing, mechanical work on these helicopters. Oh, these helicopters. Yeah, these helicopters were, these certain types, right? So when you repeat back the last thing they say as a question mark, and then you're silent, it allows them to keep talking and allows you to gather more information. It's just kind of an interesting way to just keep the conversation going and allowing yourself to listen. Also asking open-ended questions. How did you do that? Why did you do that? These kinds of things, it'll allow people to talk more. So that's just kind of a little trick there. In negotiation, there's always going to be a time when you're going to want to say no, right? And so number 3 is ask, how can I do that, right? Don't say no. Man, no one likes to hear no, right? So someone's selling a duplex or something, and they want 400. Let's do 400,000. Can we have a deal at 400,000? Instead of saying no, instead say, how can I do that? How can I do it? When the rents are 1,500, when this sold down the street, how can I do that? So essentially, you're saying no, but you're not saying no. You're asking them, how can I do that? And that's going to get them talking more. It puts the ball in their court, that kind of a thing. So that's a key thing. How can I do it? How can we make this work? How can that happen when this is like this, right? You're not saying no. You are in turn rejecting, say, an offer that comes in, but you're asking them, let's find a different way around this, okay? How can I do that instead of saying no? And then number 4, this is like, I see this in real estate all the time. Oh my God, I mean, I've been in here just a short, just a few months, but everyone splits the difference, I'm coming in at 250, they're at 200, let's just meet at 225, right? Let's just split the difference. The hot water heater's $1,000, who's gonna pay for it? I'll pay 500, you pay 500, we just split the difference. And that's a very easy way to negotiate. But it takes no creativity and no skill, and you don't want to split the difference. I mean, just that shouldn't be just your, just what your go-to. Let's just split the difference, okay? Because you could be much more successful in kind of doing some more of these things. How can I pay for that hot water heater when I've already offered you a full price? That kind of thing. So I want to have a real life example here of a new deal that we negotiated. This is a condo here in Chico. They were originally, it's 3-bedroom, 2-bath in College Town. They were originally asking $170. They had dropped down. They got no offers, right? Because there's a lot of houses on the market right now. The market's hot and high. However, not all of them are selling if they're not priced right. And so we kind of saw this one. We toured it when it was kind of up here. They dropped it down to 155. We just kind of watched it. 149 again. Now this is like over 100 days on the market. So we said, you know what, let's go in. We ran our numbers. We got information, right? We wanted to get as much information as we could. I did a lot of research on it. We said, man, this makes sense at 125. Now there's a big delta between 149 and 125. That's about 20% off right there. So we put it in, we say, hey, let's just go for it. They countered at 135, right? And so when you see 125 and 135, what do you think? You think, man, let's split the difference. Let's meet in the middle at 130. And we knew that was kind of what they wanted us to do. We'll go in at 135, they'll come up to 130 and just split the difference. But we didn't do that, right? So what we did, our second offer, we came back again at the same 125, but I wrote a letter, right? Emotional. Respect, very well, just a letter to say, basically, how can we do this? I had an analysis of all the cost, of all the expenses, the HOA fees, the income, and it showed that the cash flow was not huge. And we have statewide rent control right now, so we couldn't increase the rent, and I explained all of that there. Basically saying in a letter, how can we do that? Here's the analysis, show me how we can do it. And they came back and they accepted 125. And we're in escrow right now. So that's kind of an interesting way. You would expect someone to split the difference, but instead of splitting the difference, never split the difference, come back and say, how can I do that? Show respect. Give them the information that you've gathered and share, hey, this is a fair deal. And that's what I said in the letter. Hey, we believe this is fair because the income, because the expenses, because of this, we can't go a penny above it, but we believe this is a fair deal and we can get this done and make your life easy, right? Negotiation, right? So you see, they start at 170. We're in escrow right now, 125. That's a huge difference. And really the difference was the 149 to 125. And really, when you really get down into it, it's they wanted to come back at 130, and we didn't split the difference. And so it's just a key little thing on negotiating. So negotiation matters. That's part of your real estate agent. So if you're looking for property, you need a buyer's agent, man, let me know, because we can negotiate stuff and see what's out there and see what you can get, So that's it. I hope you guys are having a great new year. And message me or comment below if you have any questions. Thanks.